Hey guys, my name is Lisa Tuff. I'm here at Loon Beauty Boutique doing a how to blow dry your hair video. So this is a really quick 15-minute, simple, smooth, easy blow dry. A lot of my clients, when I'm here at the salon working with them, say I can't even get my hair smooth. I can never get my hair to look the way that you do when you blow dry it. So this is how I blow dry my own hair. Most of the time, I'm not a over the top person when I do my hair. I like it nice and smooth and it's natural right now, so I like it pretty simple. So what we're gonna start off with is I have my hair in just kind of like a wet bun right now because I washed it at home and came in. So I can re-wet it a little bit, however it's still pretty wet. I have all my stuff here, so this will be easy. So I'm just gonna wet it down a little tiny bit. The tools that you're going to need today are a wet brush, or a flexi brush that's going to allow any of the tangles through the ends to just swiftly brush through so you're not ripping. If you have a really strong hard brush like the Denman brush that we're also going to be using, it's going to rip through your little ends. A large round brush so that you can take nice wide sections. You don't want to be taking sections any larger than the width of your brush, so if you do have a smaller round brush, then you want to make sure that the sections you're taking are no wider than this. The nice part about these Neuro round brushes that we can order here at the salon for you guys are that they have a really long barrel. So that means if my section height is the same as the height of the brush, that's great, but I can also get a longer section because of the length of the brush. So that does help. And then we're going to be doing a wrap blow dry. So this is the key to keeping the roots really nice and smooth before we go into the round brush. So this is your Denman brush. This helps to relax the follicles, which are at the base of your scalp, to smooth those out, and it helps to control any sort of whirls, funky hairlines, really crazy, wavy edges. So I always say the key to a really beautiful style is beautiful edges. And then you're gonna need 3 strong clips and 3 of these sort of gentle clips that aren't gonna put so much tension on the hair, that'll just give you a really gentle sectioning, so it just won't dent the hair. So the first thing that you wanna do is start with your wet brush and just brush your hair from the ends, working all the way up. And what that's gonna do is allow the tippy tips to pull any knots from the midsection and top out. So you can brush all the way through the top, give it a quick brush. And then what we're gonna be doing is applying our Melu thermal spray. This is my favorite. All of my clients have this product. It's to protect your hair from the heat. So I like to give a couple miths, especially right through to the tippy tips. 2 sprays in through the middle. I'm going to be using the Oi All-in-One Milk. This is one of my best sellers and it has been for about 9 years. It has 7 essential oils, Roku oil, keratin for strength. This cuts your blow dry time in half, and it allows the cuticle layer to just be full of moisture. It helps it to be slippery and easy, so we're just going to do 2 mists of that on each side, and then for some volume and hold through the top, we're going to be using the new Davinus Liquid Spell, or it's new to me. This is a volume foam that allows your hair to just be full-bodied, voluminous, while being weightless and soft at the same time. So I'm going to do about 3 or 4 pumps of that. I like to spread the product evenly through my hands and just apply it through the top half of my hair. I don't need a lot of body and volume through the ends. I like it a little bit through the roots. So that's it. And then what you can do is find that wet brush and just brush all of those products through your hair. So you have protection, hydration, and a little bit of hold through the top. So how we're gonna start, all of our products are in the hair. We know what tools we need. We have everything here ready to go. You just need your blow dryer. So for most people, I'm gonna say for people with baby fine hair, you don't need to take a lot of moisture or do a power dry in the hair. People with medium hair like me, you can do a little tiny bit of power drying just to get, 25 to 30% of the moisture out of the hair. People with really thick, coarse hair that is a lot of work to style, then you're gonna wanna do this power dry part for a couple minutes for sure, maybe even 5 to take out 50 to 60% of the moisture. So what that step does is just take some of the moisture out. If you notice, I'm not bringing the hair all the way up. That's the number one no-no for how to blow dry your hair. You do not want to face the hair way up in the air with the power dry. Number 2, do not flip upside down. It's going to disrupt the cuticle layer and create a little bit of damage on that note as well as frizz. So what you want to do from here, the next step, is the wrap blow dry. This is the key to starting a beautiful blow dry. So what we're gonna be doing is, I always tell people, keep your blow dryer and your brush about 2 inches away. So we're gonna be starting through the hairline, following all the way through to the back. So we're kind of playing like cat and mouse with our brush and blow dryer, and we're gonna be doing the hairline first, and then you'll see me part down the middle and sort of scoop out. Like so, and then I'm gonna be parting down the middle and blow drying out. So we kind of have a division through the mid back as well. So now that we have our edges nice and smooth and dry, once you get the roots dry, the rest dries easily. So what I want to do is take a section from the top of the crown down to the ears. And a section from the top of the crown down the mid back of the head. And that's where you're going to use a nice strong clip and section that back half out. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side. You can use your finger, you can use the clip, get that out of the way. And then we're going to be basically doing 4 simple sections in through the front. So basically a division. If you think of it from the top of the head, right down the middle, divide that right in half. And we're gonna do the same on the other side. You can even go a little bit higher if you want. The key to this blow dry is if we're working on the left, we're leaning to the left. This alleviates a lot of tension on the back, the upper back and wrists. You don't want to be straining your wrists and having them in a really bent position where you're having to pull. So clip that up to the other side. So what that does is helps to keep that section out of the way as we're leaning to the left. So you can pick up this piece here because your back section's out of the way, put the brush underneath your section, and what we're gonna do is turn the blow dryer on and slowly lift from the root while leaning to the side. You're gonna find this is so easy. And I'm resectioning, so I'm grabbing that piece, especially if you hit a knot through the ends. You don't wanna rip through that. You can reapply the brush to the bottom using this opposite hand to hold your section. So as you can see, I'm slowly keeping my blow dryer close to my brush. You will get used to being able to turn the brush with your hands, but for now, if you don't want to do that, you can simply slide. So the key with this is if you want to round the edges, your following the round shape of the brush. If you want to keep the ends very smooth and straight, you simply draw a line through, keeping that section really flat to the bottom of the blow dryer. Okay, so this piece is nice and smooth. What we can do is take down our second section here, keeping that out of the way. I like to grab the section with my hand first, re-grip, and you can brush a couple times, slowly inserting that brush at the bottom of the section. As you can see, I've got this little piece here that wants to come out. So I'm gonna clip him over to the other side because it is a very large section, but because I have such a big round brush, I'm just making sure that if something gets stuck, I'm re-gripping with my opposite hand and reinserting this at the root. So I'm gonna start to give a little more volume, meaning lifting up further. If your back is hurting, just lean further to the side. Okay, so I've got that pretty dry. It's fairly smooth. I think that would be suitable for the day. I'm gonna be sectioning this in half, same piece, clipping this piece over to my other side. See how this piece isn't gonna dent my smooth section, whereas something like this absolutely would. So then we're leaning to the right. The other tip is you don't want to be smushing your hair right against the round brush. I'm actually hovering above my round brush by about a ½ inch. And if you want a nice bounce to the ends, you can sort of let your ends sit on the brush while they cool a little bit. You can even air them out while you're rounding and let it go. So same on this side. What you can do is actually brush the top down to alleviate that perfect part. You don't want it to be too perfect on top. A lot of the time in the salon, I take a nice big section and lift straight up. So we could do that for this piece, or we can lean back to the side, scooping my round brush under and going with the same angle. Okay, as you can see with this piece, I've also sort of blow dried it forwards. You can do that as well. It's gonna just give you a nice fluidity in your root area, and that's it. The front is done. Easy peasy, nice and smooth. We've got a lot of volume from that liquid spell, which is fantastic. And then we can move on to the back. So the key with the back is to use these little tiny clips so they're not gonna dent the hair you've already done. So what you're gonna do is hold your pieces that are done forwards and clip them like that. Okay, so what I can do is now move on to my back piece, and what I'm gonna do is divide that right in half. We've already blow dried the roots with our wrap dry technique with our Denman brush, so we don't have to do that. We can go right into the round brush. So we're gonna do the same thing, inserting the brush into the root, getting the root blow dried first, and then continuing with volume. As you can see, if the hair is taking a long time to dry, once you have tension through the ends, you can actually bring the blow dryer up and power dry through the middle there, and it'll actually give you a smooth finish. Then we're gonna take our top section down. See how I'm still leaning to the left side? we're gonna grab our section here. I put my blow dryer on my lap because I'm sitting. And then we can just sort of lift the brush up a little bit for volume. And if that happens, you can just pull this piece down and you can actually insert your clip a little bit higher up. Okay, take that out. And then same thing on this side. So you want to clip your pieces out of the way that are done. Last two pieces. Divide that back in half, and you can actually lift this up and place it diagonally onto the other side if that's easy. This side's a little bit trickier because you're on your opposite side with your brush and blow dryer, so you still do the same thing, re-gripping with your blow dryer hand, inserting the brush underneath, and from the back, I tend to either switch the angle of my nozzle a little bit or just make sure that I'm leaning to the side a little bit more. So I did get a little bit of a snag on this side as well, so just take that down, resection a little bit. You never want to be ripping through your ends, so take the time to take really good care of your hair and just re-clip that out of the way. The other thing is, if you do get a tangle in the end, you can hold that section with your blow dryer hand and then just slowly comb out the ends with your round. All right, let's check this out. I feel like I did a pretty good job. This is kind of like a usual look for me, so, you know, nice, quick, simple, easy blow dry. I've got it nice and smooth, I've got a little bit of volume, I feel nice and polished for the day. Took me about 15 minutes, so I hope that was helpful for you guys to smooth out your hair and get it blow dried and out the door quickly. And please let me know what you guys thought, if this was helpful. Let me know if there's any other tutorials that you want to see. I'm going to be doing a how to do beachy waves with a wand next. So let me know what you're wanting to see from home, and just remember, you can't get worse, you can only get better.